On the inside corner. This is a very deep rotation and a young rotation. No one in the five-man rotation is older than 26. Drabek is the youngest at 23.
But they don't act like it. They act like they've been around here. And their stuff is great.
What a way to start for Kyle Drabek. Goes backdoor with a cutter to get Denard Span.
One of the things we noticed when we saw Drabek for the first time last year is the great late movement that he has. He is able to move that cutter around. There's the grip that he has. He threw one inside for strike two and then freezes Span on the outside part of the plate for his first strikeout.
Tsuyoshi Nishioka, the second baseman, takes the first pitch strike at 94. Nishioka collected his first major league hit in last night's game. A single to left field, fouls it off Molina. Bruce Walton has nothing but praise when he talks about Kyle Drabek. The ability to command four pitches, late movement, and poise for a 23-year-old.
And if he doesn't have his good stuff that day, I think he has the ability to still win because of his savviness. Very smart out on the mound.
Just missed the outside corner. Well, we talked about the impact of Molina on the pitching staff, and especially for a young pitcher like Kyle Drabek. You really have to turn your game over to Molina. And when you do that as a catcher, you allow the pitcher to think only execution. He doesn't have to worry about theory. A defensive hack, and Nishioka stays alive.
So much can go through your mind when you're out on that mound. The surroundings and the feel for the game and the hitters. And you're right, if you can just forget one thing, eliminate that. We haven't seen Kyle Drabek shake off Molina yet here in the first inning.
Struck him out. Couldn't check his swing on that down and in breaking ball. A hard slider gets Nishioka.
Just execute your pitches. Here's another funky swing by the Twins. Tries to check it, but you see the great depth and the great movement. It's late and it's explosive. As a hitter, you've got a fraction of a second to react to it, and Nishioka didn't have a chance.
Joe Mauer, the catcher, will step in against Drabek with 2 outs. Missed with that sinker. The Blue Jays defense for Mauer shifted around on the infield, actually opposite in the outfield. Drabek falls behind 2-0. Just off the outside corner. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs to Joe Mauer here in the first. Mauer was 1 for 4 in last night's game. A 4-pitch walk.
As Joe Mauer makes his way down to first base, let's take a look at the defense that the Blue Jays send out this afternoon. Lots of changes. Juan Rivera will get his first start in the outfield. In left field, he'll be joined by Mike McCoy, a late addition. Jose Bautista. Escobar Hill up the middle. Jason Nick's first appearance with the Blue Jays will start at third base. This afternoon's catching will be Jose Molina. Mike McCoy gets the start in center field for Rajay Davis.
Morneau takes an inside strike. Felt like it might have been off the plate. A ball on the strike. Justin Morneau played his first game here last night since he suffered that concussion last July, when he slid into second base and collided with John McDonald. Late, great movement from Drabek. Has Morneau in the hole.
That's 4 batters now that have come up here in the first inning, and 3 of them have taken crazy swings.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Fouled out of play.
His numbers this spring were outstanding. You can take a look at that. 4 starts for Drabek. He gave up a couple of home runs, but just 1 walk. And that's the important number when you look at that. He's got the great stuff. 14 strikeouts this spring. 2-0. His ERA was under 3. Making great strides as a pitcher.
Strike 3 call. Morneau goes down. Drabek strikes out the side in the first. Great movement. He overmatches a great hitter. Gets Morneau looking.
It's moving. Hey, the project's moving. What is it? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, meet Junior. Ace's new sidekick for every Junior game Saturday. Say hello to Junior.
Let's take a look at the Blue Jays lineup. John Farrell has a little different look to his lineup. Junel Escobar's in the leadoff spot. Rajai Davis came out, took batting practice. He suffered a sprained ankle in last night's game. Found out he couldn't make it, so they put Escobar on the top. They bumped Aaron Hill into the 2 spot. Edwin Encarnacion was the 3rd baseman in last night's game. He DHs tonight. Jason Nix gets his first start as a Blue Jay. He's the 3rd base, and Rivera returns to left field.
That's the lineup that Liriano will face. Had a career-high 14 wins in 2010 and surpassed 200 strikeouts for the first time in his career. Francisco Liriano.
Escobar swings at the first pitch and grounds out to the shortstop. 1 pitch, 1 out.
This is a very good Minnesota team defensively. They were 2nd in the American League in fielding percentage last year. Here's how they'll set up. Delman Young, Bernard Span, and Michael Kadire, 3 very good throwing arms in the outfield. Manny Valencia, Alexi Casilla on the left side. Nishioka and Morneau on the right side. Joe Mauer caught last night's game, got the 8th inning off, and then he's back in there this afternoon.
And you got to have these 2 big bats in your lineup if you're the Minnesota Twins. Aaron Hill batting 2nd in this lineup this afternoon. Hill had a decent start to his season. Sac fly in the first, doubled in his 2nd at bat in the 3rd inning.
Good to see Aaron Hill last night get that sacrifice fly, cuts his swing down a little bit and hits the ball to center field to get the RBI, but then still has that ability to turn on an inside pitch.
Swinging a drive toward the gap in right field. Kadire. Now he's breaking it down just shy of the warning track, and he hauls it in. 2 outs here in the first. That's something we didn't see a lot of from Aaron Hill last season, going to the opposite power alley. He was really pull happy last year.
Yeah, he still gets the ball on the inside part of the plate and pull it. But you're right, the line drives to right center field were not there last year for Hill. I think they're going to be there this year. He is in a great frame of mind.
Jose Bautista will face Liriano with 2 down. There's that wicked slider Liriano throws so effectively, and Bautista is able to lay off. 3 for 4 last night, including his first home run of the season. What impresses you early about Bautista at the plate?
Well, his timing. That's such a big part of the hitting, getting that timing down. He's got that exaggerated leg kick, but he's able to lay back on that back leg with that high leg kick and then explode through the baseball. Smart hitter. Hit an off-speed pitch last night in the second deck for a home run.
3-0. He had the green light, didn't like what he saw, and takes the strike. It's underneath this one, and it's a mile high to left field. Delman Young is there, and Liriano has a 1-2-3 first inning. We have played an inning here at Rogers Center. We are scoreless.
That are looking bad in the first inning, they might want to go up there and take a few pitches and get an idea of what Drabek has this afternoon.
Well, if you're a pitcher facing a team for the first time, that's a great approach. Pound the strike zone aggressively. Don't give him much to look at. Delman Young, the left fielder, will lead things off. Another tentative check swing there. He didn't pick up that ball very well.
Well, he certainly has all the weapons. He can throw about 4 or 5 different pitches with good hard movement on it.
Sharply hit to third. Jason Nix gets his first play of the season.
Let's take a look at this afternoon's scouting report brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. Kyle Drabek is the Jays' top prospect, one of the best in all of baseball. He's got a power arm. He's only 6'1", about 190 pounds, but he's very explosive with his fastball and his cutter. And that hammer time has something to do with his breaking ball. He's got a great curveball that he'll use for those great strikeouts, and he's developing that cutter.
The veteran Jim Thome takes the first pitch outside. Thome's first appearance this season. Defensively, Blue Jays use the shift, but it's kind of unusual in that Escobar, the shortstop, stays at short. The third baseman, Jason Nix, is over on the right side of second. And there's Aaron Hill way out in shallow right. Line right to Nix. Perfect position. 2 quick outs here in the second.
Well, that worked out nicely, didn't it? All those scouting reports. Coaches get in there and take a look at the hitting charts. So you flood the right side with infielders. And Tomei is robbed of his first hit by Jason Nix.
Jason Nix acquired right at the end of spring training in a deal with the Cleveland Indians. Michael Kadire swings at the first pitch and lifts it into center. McCoy, after backing up, closes in on it and makes the catch. Quick inning. Just 6 pitches for Kyle Drabek in the second.
I grew up in East LA, and we always made it talk here and there, and I think that always drove me. And I always said, I'm going to put everything on. Was it a challenge at times? Absolutely. But I think it made me a better person, and it helped me for mentally.
Including his first home run. Did you back-to-back home runs in the 5th off Carl Pavano.
Did you tell him this afternoon that it's opening night again?
He stays in a good mindset opening night. I spoke to Adam prior to the game, and I said, what was the most nerve-wracking aspect of your game last night? He said, playing defense. Adam Lind enjoys opening the season. Boys had big numbers opening nights.
How about the home runs in the production? 3 home runs, 10 RBIs.
Cuts on and misses that slider from Liriano. Liriano picks up his first strikeout of the night.
If that slider is on, we'll see a lot of strikeouts from Liriano. Scouting report for Francisco Liriano. He's got the big fastball. He can run it up there in the high 90s if he has to. He's got that tight slider, tough to pick up. The rotation of that slider, especially for left-handers. And he's got twin change-ups. He's got the circle change that drops straight down, and then he's got a 3-finger change-up that will go away from right-handers. And there's plenty of righties in the lineup this afternoon.
Edwin Encarnacion has homered in his only 2 at-bats against Liriano. They came last September in Minneapolis. The Blue Jays roughed up Liriano in that game. They touched him up for 3 home runs in 5 1/3. And that was part of a Blue Jays rout. They beat Minnesota 13-2 in the opener of that season-ending 4-game series.
Liriano did not finish the season on a high note. There's a changeup right there, the one that goes down and away. He lost his last 3 starts, including that one you were just talking about to the Blue Jays. That was 13-2 that game. And he's 0-2 in his career versus the Blue Jays. This is his first start here at Rogers Center.
Sharply hit, but foul. He's made 1 relief appearance here back in 2006. but his other 2 previous starts against the Blue Jays both came in Minnesota. Missed the entire 2007 season after undergoing Tommy John surgery.
He's a little bit different than some of the pitchers that come back from Tommy John surgery. I think it took him 2 years to get fully back to where he was that rookie year when he went 12-3. He's got a great slider, and I think that might have had something to do with it. Took him a little bit longer to get back.
There's no guarantee when pitchers go through Tommy John. You can see a difference last year, dramatic improvement in his quality of stuff, big difference in the ERA. And he was able to make 31 starts over the course of the season.
And he almost got to 200 innings, which is very important.
Right to Valencia at third. Long throw across the diamond in time to get Encarnacion. Danny Valencia came up last year with the Twins and did a good job. Played in the 85 games in the second half of the season and hit .311. Did a good job defensively as well.
Yeah, just 6 errors in the 85 games that he played, and that's a tricky place to play in Minnesota.
Jason Nix will get his first at bat as a Blue Jay. 14 home runs a year ago in limited duty. Split time between the Chicago White Sox and the Cleveland Indians. Nix is 28 years old. Started out his professional career as a second baseman. And he was in the Rockies organization. He was a sandwich pick by Colorado, 44th pick overall in 2001.
Nice compact swing, generates a lot of power. In the lineup this afternoon, he's got good numbers against Liriano on just 8 at bats.
Lays off that pitch down and in. We're in the second inning. A scoreless game. Jason Nix started the big leagues in 2008, played 22 games with the Colorado Rockies, and then was demoted to Colorado Springs, where he really bounced back. Hit .300 for the season. That was his last time with the Rockies. He then went to the Chicago White Sox. Signed as a free agent in October of 2008 as a 6-year minor league free agent. Pulled just outside of third. John Farrell now, with starting Jason Nix, has gotten every one of his position players into a game. Mike McCoy came on defensively, and it's important for a manager to try to get all of the regulars involved early on.
He was asked that exact question this morning about playing this lineup. He says, look, these guys are on the team. I got to get them in there. They've got to help us out.
And two, if you let them sit too long, the benefits of spring training are lost. They become rusty. Travis Snyder gets the afternoon off, at least at the beginning, with Liriano on the mound.
Early on to get in and help your teammates, maybe win a ball game, do something, makes you feel like you're part of the team, especially for a player who's just coming over from another team.
Good at bat. Jason Nix gets the 2-out walk. Showing good patience, laying off that pitch down and in. First walk issued by Liriano.
Had a great spring to Liriano. The ERA might not show it, but in the 5 games that he started, he did have 23 strikeouts and only 9 base on balls.
Juan Rivera, it's a start in left field. Rivera was the DH in last night's game. He was 0 for 3 with a walk and scored a run. Way off the plate inside. The Blue Jays have not fared well the last couple of seasons against left-handed starters. Last year, their record was 13-23. They hope Juan Rivera will help them reverse that trend. Two and 0.
Blue Jay batter showing some good patience here in the second inning against Liriano.
All of a sudden, he's having a tough time finding the strike zone.
And he has done that before in his career. He could be cruising right along first couple of innings and all of a sudden lose his release point. Ball starts sailing out of the strike zone. 31 pitches now for Liriano.
We have seen John Farrell in his aggressive approach all spring long. Do you give Juan Rivera the green light here?
Absolutely. Home run hitter. You might only get one pitch to hit.
And he got the green light and he popped it straight up right over home plate. Bauer in foul territory makes the catch. Rivera had a chance, got underneath it, and popped it up. Blue Jays strand one. And they are loaded with former first-round picks. They're not all their own first-round picks, but they're pretty special young players.
Alex Anthopoulos likes to collect first-round draft pick assets. Brandon Morrow came over from Seattle. Snyder was a draft pick. Kyle Drabek. They're young, and what I like about that is they have high ceilings. And we've seen Morrow just really start to expand, and we know Snyder's going to be good. How about Ricky Romero last night? He was a former first-round draft pick. Brett Laurie, a former first-round draft pick. When you're young like that and you have a high ceiling, you don't know what kind of player you're going to get, but you've got a good chance of having a good one.
Yeah, when they're athletic, they have the ability to make adjustments that are necessary to become a consistent major league player. Danny Valencia is in a hole 0-2 as Kyle Drabek continues to pound the strike zone. Drabek, a high school player when Philadelphia took him in the first round. Very athletic, played football in high school, played shortstop as a position player, and also pitched. Of course, you look at his background and his genes, they're pretty good too. His father, Doug Drabek, was a former Cy Young Award winner. Alex Anthopoulos loves athleticism and loves guys that can make some adjustments.
When you are a good athlete, I think you just said it, you can learn to play the game. And when you get them at such a young age, as high schoolers, you can get them into the pro game, teach them the right way with great instructors down in the minor leagues.
Big bounce to the third. Nix cuts in front of Escobar. Adam Lind digs it out of the dirt. Good job by Adam Lind to stay with it. He got the short hop, but handled it very slick.
How about that? The backhand. You go down and you swipe it, scoop it out of the dirt just like that, like you've been doing it for 10 years. Good range by Nix. The ball's going to die on him, but no problem. Lynn goes down and snatches it for the first out.
Well, the one thing the Blue Jays did when they were trying to figure out if they should try Adam Lind at first, they looked at a lot of video to see if bounces at foul, and they determined that Lind had good hands, soft hands, and it's reflected in his play here.
You have to have soft hands, and you have to have quick hands. You have to get down and get the ball. Watch how low he gets to go down and get it. Certainly has put the time in.
On Thursday, the workout day prior to Friday's opener, he and Brian Butterfield, the infield and third base coach, stayed late after the workout, and Butterfield hit him fungos from across the diamond. One hoppers into the dirt, and he handled them perfectly. Brian Butterfield does a terrific job with all the infielders, making sure they're all well prepared to get into the regular season. Another bunt attempt. This time it's pulled foul.
You know,
this is in last night's game. Adam Lind showing he's trying to relax, and a little bit different attitude here tonight, a little more relaxed. That reaction was after the first play of the season. He handled a 4-3 put-out, a throw from Aaron Hill. Hill takes the big hop, flips to Lind. Another easy play.
You know, there's a lot involved as a first baseman, especially if you're coming from the outfield or being a DH the way Adam's been the last couple of years. There's a lot more involved at first base than people realize.
Isn't it interesting that a lot of people assume, hey, let's put anybody over at first. You can play there, but there are a lot of things you have to deal with as a first baseman. And Brian Butterfield is well aware of all the different drills you have to incorporate to put Adam Lind in the best possible position to succeed.
One of the things that he was going to do after batting practice was to talk to him about flipping the ball to the pitcher covering. He was going to take a runner to simulate the runner to show you how much time you actually have to flip the ball over to first base. We saw that in yesterday's ball game.
And there's a simple aspect of the play at first base that you really kind of assume to be an easy play. Bernard Span pops it over the Blue Jays dugout. But when you think about the rigors of playing first base, you've been over there. What should he do on those soft tosses?
Well, what you don't want to do is take the ball, flip it, and your wrist kind of bends up like that, and you flip it and it comes off your fingers. I think you've got to put it back in your hand like a dead fish like that, and the ball just stays straight. That's one thing that Brian was going to work with him after batting practice today, to get that nice soft toss to lead the pitcher to first base. You don't want to do this or keep your hand up like that. It'll end up going over the pitcher.
In fact, they did take several tosses at first base. Torey Lovello, the first base coach, was playing the role of the base runner and then the pitcher. And he would kind of make his move toward the bag, and then would feed him the ball. Everybody getting involved early on. Torey Lovello, in his first year as the first base coach, also instructs the outfielders. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter, Bernard Span. No score, top of the 3rd inning. Francisco Liriano and Kyle Drabek off to a good start. Bounced in front of the mound. Drabek takes his time and throws Span. Kyle Drabek has retired 7 straight. town to start a 3-game series. Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday is an afternoon game, April 7th, a day game, at 12:37 start. For tickets for the Oakland series, call 416-341-1234. You can log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations for tickets. The Oakland Athletics, with that fine young pitching staff, ran into a pretty good pitcher yesterday in Felix Hernandez, who shut them out on 5 hits. Jose Molina lifts a high fly ball left field. Delman Young's not going to get it. Home run, Molina. There's something about the Blue Jays catcher and the home runs. 3 home runs for the Blue Jay catchers already this season.
And the second time that Jose Molina has gotten Francisco Liriano. You mentioned the one last year at Target Field. Does it again, and he needs every inch of the ballpark. A high drive to left field. Young's got a beat on it, but watch where it lands. Right off the top of the wall and out of the ballpark.
1-0 Blue Jays. Delman Young just doesn't have enough elevation to get on top of that fence. Molina with #1 of the season. He had 6 last year, a career high.
And Liriano doesn't give up a whole lot of home runs, just 9 of them all of last year. 3 of them to the Blue Jays in his last start.
Molina, not thinking anything about his hitting, goes right to Drabek to talk about pitching. Boy, what an asset. I would sign him up right now.
It's like having another coach. He's been through everything in baseball.
Mike McCoy drills it to center field. Span has great speed, gets back on the warning track to make the catch. The Blue Jays hitters during batting practice have a saying they like to incorporate. Jose Molina is the one that really is the instigator. When someone hits a high fly ball to the outfield, they say see or no, whether or not it's going out of the ballpark.
Yes or no.
And if the hitter is wrong, Molina will say he don't know. Well, Molina knew that he had just enough of that ball to hit on top of the fence. He knows. Escobar drives it to the gap in right center. That'll go all the way to the wall. He's headed for third. And he'll get there with no throw. Junior Escobar, his first triple of the season.
Had the second one for the Blue Jays in 2 games. Escobar at the top of the lineup with Rajay Davis out of the lineup. This ball is stung to right center field, and I think what turned it in from a double into a triple was when it hit off the wall in that auxiliary scoreboard, it just died on the wall. Bernard Span was expecting that ball to ricochet back to him, but then had to re-clutch and go and get the ball, and that allowed Escobar to go all the way to third. Watch it come off the wall, and it just stays there.
So with 1 out and Escobar at third, the Twins will draw the infield in. All bounced and smothered by Joe Mauer. You see the infield in. Casilla, the shortstop, a few steps behind the base path at short.
And we'll keep our eye on Juno Escobar to see what kind of lead he gets off at third base, if they're going to play contact or not. Try and steal a run.
High breaking ball for a strike. Aaron Hill had a sacrifice fly in his first at bat last night. Fly ball to center field. Already this afternoon, he's driven a ball to the gap in right center. Tapped in front of home foul. 1-0 Blue Jays have taken the lead here on the strength of Jose Molina's first home run of the season. We mentioned Aaron Seavey with 2 home runs last night. Blue Jays catchers have 3 home runs already. And how about the catching connection? Mike Napoli, who was briefly a Blue Jay catcher, homered for the Rangers yesterday, and John Buck hit a grand slam for the Florida Marlins in his Marlin debut. They cornered the market on catching power. One ball, two strikes, one out. Blue Jays trying to take advantage of the one-out triple by Junel Escobar.
And you got to figure at some point in this at bat, Liriano's going to try and strike him out with that good slider. He threw a fastball up. That last pitch got away with it. He might want to try that slider down and in now.
Got him. Exactly what he went to. Hard breaking ball down and in for the strikeout.
I asked him today, I said, JP, did you get all of that one? He said, yes, sir. He said, that one felt fine. And it really took the pressure off of him after the spring that he had. And now it's just cherry on top with the fastball down and away, and he muscles it over the wall in right field.
After that fine game that Aaron Sebia had last night, 2 homers and a triple, he doesn't have to worry about mechanics any longer. Jose Bautista swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. Liriano aggressive with that first pitch fastball. And JP Aaron Sebia, 5 RBI in the game last night, 2 homers and a triple. His first major league triple. Change up. Be interesting to see what Bautista gets in this at bat with the left-handed hitting Adam Lind on deck.
You got to figure that he's one of those unintentional walks. Don't give him anything. Now, as a hitter, do you go outside of your game plan and maybe widen your strike zone?
I think that's one thing that Bautista did such a great job of a year ago. Not expanding his strike zone, not chasing.
Sometimes you do that and you get yourself into bad habits.
Good job. And that's just pure discipline. Obviously, he's well aware there's a big run down there at third base, but with 2 outs, he's got to make sure he gets something he can hit. Don't chase Liriano's pitches that are just off the plate.
Sit on that changeup right here.
Takes the walk. Liriano wasn't too anxious to give Bautista anything to hit. He really may have gotten away with one on the first pitch that Bautista fouled back.
Yeah, he said, okay, let's reprogram this a little bit and figure out what we're doing here. And this is where I think Adam Lind is going to be very important for the Blue Jays this year. It was so good to see him last night get off to a good start. Hitting behind Jose Bautista, if he produces, I think that's going to make Bautista a better hitter. He's going to get more pitches to hit.
Lind hit 117 against left-handed pitching a year ago. Makes the first pitch strike. Adam had an RBI base hit against Dusty Hughes, a left-hander, in his final at bat in the 8th inning. A single into right. First and third, 2 outs, a run in. It's interesting. When the Blue Jays would never have made you think about a stolen base, the Twins are aware they might try to steal one with the lefty-lefty matchup.
And I'm thinking double steal. The middle infielders are way back, respecting the power of Lind. If they throw through, Escobar can come on home.
Well, if you're going to do it, now's the time. Lind's in a hole 0-2. Go ahead and try to steal a run. Danny Valencia, the third baseman, is way back at third. Escobar can get a big lead.
Joe Mauer's a long look into the bench to get the signs of what they're going to do in case he does take off.
Bautista took a step towards second as Liriano is delivering the pitch. But it's not a bad gamble. Percentage is really in your favor with Lind in a hole against Liriano. the Twins think it'd be a good gamble.
Yeah. I've seen teams pitch out in this situation here. Take one shot at maybe figuring out what the opposition is doing. If they do get thrown out, if the runner does get thrown out, Adam Lynn hits with a clean slate next inning.
A ball and 2 strikes. Tapped foul. Isn't it interesting the impact of 1 inning in last night's game? The Blue Jays had a double steal in the first with Jose Bautista batting. And now the Twins are on edge as to whether or not the Blue Jays are going to try to steal a run here in the 3rd inning with 2 outs.
And wasn't it interesting that double steal? The runners did that on their own. Aggressiveness. They put that mindset in every one of these runners to be aggressive. Escobar is going way off at 3rd base.
Bounce. Bautista will move into scoring position at second. The distraction of aggressive base running. Liriano bounces it. Mauer couldn't handle it, and Bautista moves up on the wild pitch.
A little further away, and Escobar has a chance to score, getting that very aggressive lead over at 3rd base. And he had thoughts, took a couple of steps, but then the ball just died.
Left field. Young on the run. Young on the warning track, and he makes the catch. Lynn gave it a ride, but Delman Young closed ground quickly and caught it down in the corner. Blue Jays strand a pair, but they've taken a 1-0 lead. Tonight, the Red Sox will be at the Texas Rangers. It'll be on Sportsnet East and Sportsnet Ontario beginning at 8 p.m. The Diamondbacks will be at Colorado on Sportsnet West, and later on at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, the Mariners will be at Oakland. Seattle one behind Felix Hernandez, the reigning American League Cy Young Award winner. Threw a complete game, first time out of the chute, 5 hits.
What's new? Wow.
So Yoshi Nishioka bats for a second time. He struck out on a wicked Drabek slider in the first.
We saw it with Bernard Span, his second time through the lineup last inning. A little bit more patient. Minnesota Twins hitters trying to figure out Kyle Drabek.
There's so much information, so much video available. I'm sure the Twins have video on Drabek, but how much different is it when you step in the box to get a feel?
You can't sit there and watch TV and say, okay, here comes the breaking ball, and you see it. There's so much information that you have to process when you're inside that batter's box. What does it look like coming out of his hand? Can I anticipate it in a 1-2 count? Where does he like to throw it? Does he like to throw it, start it at you and cut it on the inside part of the plate, or start it on the outside and make you go fishing for it? It's a whole lot of difference watching it on TV and then trying to hit it.
And Nishioka takes the walk. Second walk issued by Drabek. Joe Mauer will step in. Mauer hit .327 a year ago. He has one of the best approaches in the major leagues. He's a .327 career hitter. And this is his hot zone where he really likes the baseball. There aren't too many spots where you can attack Joe Mauer.
Probably stays inside the baseball better than anybody in the American League. What I mean by that is his hands stay inside the ball, so the barrel of the bat is always over the strike zone. How about up and away? .421. That's a place where you're supposed to be able to get guys out.
Great approach at the plate. Never really has developed into a pull hitter to take advantage of his 6'5" frame, and because of that his power suffered a bit last year. Hit just 9 home runs all year long, and he didn't hit a home run at Target Field, his home ballpark, until August.
That's coming off a big year where he reached 20 home runs the year before. But I'll take the batting average. He has the highest batting average of any catcher since 1900 at .327.
Talk about great left-handed hitters. We'll give you an idea how Joe Mauer matches up with arguably the best hitter in the history of the game, Ted Williams. And look at those hot zones.
They're all red.
Yeah.
Where do you
try to
him?
get him out at .380, go down and away and up and in.
No chance.
And this is the first hitter I ever saw a hot zone chart. Ted Williams in his book about hitting. And Williams was a terrific hitter. There goes Nishioka. Molina unloads in a hurry, but it's off target. Molina got a good release on that ball, but it sailed on him a bit. Jose threw very well last year, threw out over 40% of the base runners.
44 to be exact. Good jump by Nishioka. The ball just sailed on him, and Escobar gives him. Watch the reaction from Molina as that ball comes off of his hands. No chance.
Nishioka had 22 steals last year in the Pacific League of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. This is his first year in the major leagues. 26-year-old switch hitter. One nothing ball game as the Twins bat top of the 4th inning. Grounded to Hill. Thinks about going to third, but Nishioka moves up on him as Mauer's retired. Hill took a look at Nishioka, but he didn't have a play.
If it was hit a little bit harder, I think he would have had a shot. A lot of times runners just take for granted that they're going to move up to third base on a ball on the right side of the infield. Always alert. Aaron Hill thought about it, but record the out over at first.
Now with Justin Morneau batting with 1 out, the Blue Jays play the infield back. Morneau taps it foul. You see Justin Morneau wearing an oversized batting helmet. And that's a result of the concussion he suffered here at Rogers Center a year ago. And that is a much more effective protective helmet that Morneau chooses to wear now.
Wears it in batting practice also.
It took him so long to get over the symptoms of the concussion. Just a little bit oversized. It's interesting that the regular batting helmet is rated to protect you to 76 miles an hour, which is a major league changeup. And of course we saw Corey Patterson hit by Daniel Bard in spring training in the back of the helmet. He's been disabled, but this is a much more effective means of protection. On the ground. That'll tie it up as Morneau picks up the RBI on the ground out to second. It's a 1-1 ball game. The leadoff walk comes in to tie it up.
Delman Young.
Bill Morneau picks up his first RBI of the season, and Delman Young will hit with 2 outs. Breaking ball fouled out of play. Young grounded to third, his first time up. There's a slide, a little more depth on that pitch than the cutter we have seen from Drabek.
And it's a late break. It looks like a fastball coming in and then just dips under the bat at the last minute.
Fastball just off the outside corner at 94. Breaking ball gets Young. Molina will have to go to first for the out, and Young's retired. 4th strikeout of the afternoon for Kyle Drabek, but the Twins break through on the leadoff walk.
Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Brian Butterfield always working. Jose Bautista called him over, and you got to believe this was the 1st and 3rd situation with 2 outs on whether or not Bautista should have run in that situation. But boy, I tell you what, everybody on this ball club thinking about the possibility of getting extra 90 feet every time they're on the bases. Edwin Encarnacion batting against Liriano.
This is what you like to see. Your starting catcher and your starting pitcher sitting down and discussing it. They are always together on the bench.
Well, Molina does such a great job of reminding his pitchers, whether it's Brandon Morrow or Kyle Drabek, how they're most effective, what he needs to do. This one's popped up into foul territory along the first base foul line. Morneau makes the catch, and Encarnacion's retired.
With so many young starters on this pitching staff, I think it's so important to have that veteran catcher to go over situations, go over pitch counts, go over what you're going to do. I had a chance to walk through the clubhouse this morning during batting practice, and I saw the 2 catchers and Kyle Drabek really huddled together going over every scenario of these hitters. They will be prepared when they take that mound.
Jason Nix drives it to left field, and this ball is gone. Welcome to the Blue Jays, Jason Nix.
He had a great at-bat his first time up, getting a walk from Liriano, and now he's not going to wait. Fastball right down Broadway. And with that short, compact swing, unloads to left field. His first home run, and the Jays, just like that, jump back out ahead.
Both home runs here this afternoon came on the first pitch. One of the 4 home runs last night, also a first pitch homer. The Blue Jays continue to be very aggressive early.
That was big for him last year when they hit all those home runs, those first pitch homers. 27 career home runs now and just over 600 big league at bats.
Blue Jays have retaken the lead. Boy, that ball was a shot. Bautista and Lind. Again, Lind was at the plate when Bautista was at first in the first and third situation. Last inning. Jason Nix, it's his first start of the season. Draws a walk in his first at bat and goes deep in his second. Stay tuned. Coming up, a connected update with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the brand new BlackBerry broadcast studio here at Rogers Center. Right after this happened, as Juan Rivera takes a 1-out walk. Jose Molina hit his first home run of the season back in the third. Molina is now 2 for 3 against Liriano for his career with 2 homers. Rivera's going to run, do you?
Well, he's got both of his feet on the dirt part of the infield. Here, he doesn't have a very aggressive lead. The only way he would go, I would assume, would be on a hit and run. But not a very big lead at first.
Right on the outside corner. Blue Jays have made Liriano work. He threw 53 pitches through the first 3 innings. It's kind of a contrast as his pitch count is up to 63 already. They make you work, but when you come in with that first pitch fastball, they've hit 2 home runs.
They're laying on it. Liriano had a game this spring against the Baltimore Orioles where he was only able to get through 3 innings and threw 76 pitches. He had 9 strikeouts. So one of the things that he's been trying to do is get that pitch count down, play a little bit more pitch to contact.
Ball in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike.
Strikeouts are great. You know, we all love them, but they take their toll on the pitcher.
I think everybody would love to have a pitcher get resolution to at bats in 3, maybe 4 pitches. Stay under 4 pitches per at bat on average. That'll keep you in a ball game into the 7th and possibly 8th inning. Breaking ball cut on and missed. 2-2 to Jose Molina.
There's so much information out there now with the scouting reports and the film that you can watch on pitchers. They're not going to surprise you anymore when they take them out. People pretty much have an idea of what Liriano's going to do to you. And I think that happens to get the pitch count up.
Now it's a full count with 1 out. You have to think that Rivera will run here.
Stay out of the double play. Maybe get a head start on a ball in the gap.
Rivera's not running, and there's the walk. Liriano walks the fourth Blue Jay hitter here today. Back-to-back walks with 1 out in the fourth. And that'll bring the pitching coach out of the Twins dugout, Rick Anderson. One thing the Blue Jays have always known about the Twins is they don't walk many guys.
That whole staff for years, they have been a staff that really pounds the strike zone. That's their mantra. Ever since Rick Anderson got here, that has been their thing.
Blue Jays have always been a thorn in the Twins' side. You look at their record since 2006. The Blue Jays have owned Minnesota 29-12, including a 10-3 record against Minnesota here in this ballpark.
They've had a lot of success against the Central Division.
The Twins a year ago managed just 15 wins against the American League East. The Twins and the Angels had the fewest wins against the American League East. They both had 15 wins.
Welcome to our neighborhood. Dealing with the American League East.
Only 4 teams in the American League had winning records versus the American League East, and they were all American League East teams. It is a tough neighborhood. 1-0 to McCoy. Long drive to left field, but Delman Young's going to make a play on it. Rivera's tagging at second. He bluffs toward third, and he'll hold his ground. 2 outs, and the Blue Jays will turn the lineup over.
Tough to run on Delman Young in left field. 12 outfield assists last year, the most by any left fielder in the American League. Got back and got himself in good position to get the ball back in quickly.
Shortstop Junel Escobar crippled his last time up. He came with 1 out in the third. Goes after that breaking ball. Liriano up to 73 pitches. Trying to minimize the damage here in the fourth. Big swing and a miss. Escobar's in the hole, 0-2. Blue Jays have taken a 2-1 lead over Minnesota. Jason Nix with a 1-out home run, his first home run of the season. Escobar goes down swinging. The Blue Jays have taken a 2-1 lead. Now it's time for a connected update with Jamie and Greg live from the brand new BlackBerry broadcast studio here at Rogers Center. Begins at 12:30 with Jamie and Greg on Jay's Connected. Brett Cecil will go to the mound trying to get off to a great start. Remember, Cecil started last year in the minor leagues, missed the first 2 starts, won 15 games, and he is anxious to get on the mound for the first time here in 2011. Jim Thome, the DH, lined out to the third baseman Jason Nix, who was playing over near second.
I got to change my scorecard now. That's right. That was the third baseman.
Line to 5.
Jim Thome has always had a great eye at the plate to go along with that great power. Only Jose Bautista last year had a better home run ratio per at bat than Jim Thome.
There's a 3-0 strike. Thome needed 11.4 at bats for every home run, while Bautista led the American League, led the majors at 10.54 at bats per homer. Thome just 11 home runs shy of the 600 career home run plateau. What a career. And how about Thome and Ramirez both starting out with the Cleveland Indians? Drabek comes all the way back from 3-0 to strike out the veteran Thome. Number 5 on the afternoon for Drabek.
And not afraid to throw a 3-2 breaking ball. Watch this one get right underneath the bat with that late movement. Jim Thome is fooled. Drabek picks up his 5th.
Another good example of playing follow the leader. The leader being Molina behind the plate.
Have you seen him shake him off yet?
He did it early in the game, but that might have been a decoy. Oftentimes when you're in a groove, catcher will just shake his head to get the pitcher to shake, just to put a little hesitation in the hitter's mind. Curveball pulled to third. Jason Nix on the money to Lind. 2 outs. Drabek issued a leadoff walk to start the 4th. Tsuyoshi Nishioka then stole second and scored on a ground out to first. That's how the Twins scored their run. Danny Valencia looks at a pitch outside. The Twins have managed to hit just 1 ball to the outfield. Michael Kadire in the 2nd inning hit a fly ball to center. Everything else has been on the ground or a strikeout.
Shows you the kind of stuff that Kyle Drabek has brought to the ballpark this afternoon.
Another ground ball deep and short. Escobar with the backhand. Strong throw on the money. A quick 1-2-3 5th inning. Blue Jays lead it 2-1. Twins still looking for their first hit.
It's time for the Bruce
constant conversation between the battery. Jose Molina, the veteran catcher, his young starter, Kyle Drabek. 5 strong innings. Aaron Hill, 0 for 2 with a strikeout against Liriano. Buries that breaking ball in the dirt. A ball on the strike. Kyle Drabek is in the 2 spot in this rotation because Brandon Morrow, who was initially going to make this start, starts the season on the DL.
They had to rejig it the last 10 days or so of spring training. John Farrell wanting to put a power pitcher in between Ricky Romero and Brett Cecil to break that up, give the opposition a little something different to look at from day to day.
Also, at the time they had to make that decision, Kyle Drabek was the least affected as far as his work schedule. And he just slid right into the 2 spot. Way out in front of home. Angel Hernandez moved around pretty good right there. Get out of the way. There are the starting pitchers: Jojo Reyes, Ricky Romero, Brandon Morrow, and Brett Cecil. That's a new feature here at Rogers Center. They put up a fence in front of the dugout, and they put 2 benches on the steps. I like it.
Oh, yeah. It just cleans up the whole dugout area. And you can go there and you can talk and not worry about getting drilled with a line drive foul ball.
Hey, there's a pitcher's bench, and then there's a hitter bench. Wayne Murphy's in charge of the hitter bench. They're talking home runs on the left side.
With the catchers. All the catchers are sitting there.
A lot of pitching conversation going on there. Brandon Morrow anxious to be activated. The schedule suggests that Morrow will start his rehab April 7th down in Dunedin on a rehab assignment. All indications are good. This has popped up a mile high first base foul line. Morrow makes the catch in fair territory. Now it's time for an update. Here's Jamie Campbell from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. A much more conservative score from Cleveland. How about Adam Dunn? He didn't waste any time having an impact. Big home run yesterday. Carlos Quentin also going deep.
Talk about a team that's got some power. The Chicago White Sox. Up and down that lineup's got some power, just like the Blue Jays.
2 balls and no strikes. Here's where Bautista will guess with Liriano and might look for an off-speed pitch, even though it's 2-0.
He guessed breaking ball in yesterday's game. Got it. And put it in the stands for his first home run.
And we say guess, it's a very informed guess. Knowing what the pitcher does and what your strengths are. 3-0. Upstairs, Bautista takes a walk. Second walk today for Jose Bautista.
First baseman, number 26.
In the 5th for Liriano, the pitcher. That'll jump that pitch count up there. Action in the bullpen now very quickly for the Minnesota Twins as Liriano is closing in on 90.
Adam Lind is 0 for 2. He hit a deep fly ball down the left field line just inside the foul line. Kevin Slowey, the right-hander, loosening up. Slowey pitched an inning in last night's game, worked the 7th inning, struck out a batter and gave up a single. Bautista had a foot on the artificial surface. Drove the attention of Liriano. Well, Bautista had a bigger lead that time. Both feet nearly on the grass surface here.
Yeah, a lot different lead than what we saw an inning or so ago with Juan Rivera when he is out there. That is a huge lead, but it looks like a one-way lead for Bautista. First movement from Liriano. He is leaning back towards first base.
What's a one-way lead?
Get out there as far as you can. Try and draw a throw to give everybody on the bench a chance to see his move over to first base.
He's been very deliberate in his move to first. Both pitchers have been in command. Liriano a little trouble with his control, but he has held the Blue Jays to just 3 hits. But 2 of those 3 hits have left the ballpark. John Farrell made a statement in the spring. He wanted his offense to be uncomfortable for the Twins. And he is certainly in the head of Francisco Liriano. Cut on and missed by Linden. 2 balls and a strike.
I know Jose Bautista wants to steal more bases this year. He said that to John Farrell in spring training. Each one of the players are assigned a color. Red, yellow, or green. Stoplight, the green light, or the, well, we'll see.
Lynn drives it into center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Bautista quickly around second. He's headed to third. Adam Lynn goes into center field. A sharp base hit to center off Liriano. First and third, 1 out.
Maybe you buy a fastball for the hitter behind you if you are a threat to try and steal. That big lead over at first base for Jose Bautista. Lynn gets one down and away, and he stays right on top of it. Doesn't try and lift it, just stays down, goes down and gets it and rips it into left center field.
Boy, he stayed on that good pitch, and he has just knocked Francisco Liriano out of the ball game. Ron Gardenhire makes the change. It'll be Kevin Slowey when we come back to Rogers Center. Comfort Zone, our guest of TD. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Kevin Slowey came into the game last night, pitched in the 7th inning, and after striking out Aaron Hill, he gave up a single to Edwin Encarnacion And that's who he'll face here with runners at first and third.
Slowly works very quickly, throws lots of strikes. You can see that just 29 walks last year. He made 28 starts for Minnesota. Pushed into the bullpen because of the depth in their starting rotation.
Missed with the fastball down and away. With that hit last night, Encarnacion, he improves to 2-5 against Slowey for his career. 2 for 5 for Encarnacion. On the outside corner, a ball and a strike. Here's where that big part of the diamond approach comes in. You need to get something up in the zone, something you can drive at least to the outfield to cash in at a minimum. Bautista from third.
And you know that Kevin Slowey is going to be around the plate. Just have to think along with him.
Good rip by Edwin.
Good pitch to hit right there.
Here's where you got to battle. Here's where the run producers deliver. First and third, less than 2 outs. Trying to pad a 1-run lead.
Have an idea of what he has done in the past against you to try and get you out. Does he like his slider with 2 strikes?
Fights it off. Twins have good arms in the outfield. Young, Span, and Kadire all throw very well. Should there be a fly ball. Delman Young has a very strong arm. Denard Span, we're just getting used to. He throws above average, and Michael Kadire is the best arm in the Twins outfield.
It's accurate, and he gets it in very quickly.
Down step the middle. Tough play for Casilla. All hands are safe. Encarnacion with the infield single drives home Jose Bautista, and he delivers.
We showed it last night how the middle infield plays very deep on this artificial surface. You can see how deep Casilla is, and he just can't get to this ball. Right over the pitcher's mound. It stays in the infield when Nishioka backs it up. But Casilla just can't come up with it. Even if he catches that ball, there's no place to go with it. Big hit by Encarnacion to make it 3-1.
Take advantage of those run producing situations. Jason Nix looks at an outside strike. Nix, in his first start for the Blue Jays, has walked and homered. Having played for the Indians and the White Sox, Nix has faced Slowey. He's 0 for 5 against the Twins right-hander. Everything Slowey throws is down, trying to hit the corners with fastballs and breaking ball.
Basically a sinker slider type pitcher. He'll use his fastball, pitch off of his fastball a lot. 13-game winner last year for the Minnesota Twins.
Fly ball center field. Denard Span has a beat on. He makes the catch. 2 outs. So the scheduled batter, Juan Rivera, will be lifted in favor of Travis Snyder, who did not start in today's game. I think everybody on this roster understands you better be ready every day. Never know when you're going to be called upon. Snyder had a couple of walks in his season debut last night.
Yeah, he was not on the on-deck circle. Juan Rivera was on the on-deck circle. So there's no left-hander up in the bullpen.
Swinging a drive down the right field line. This is going to drop and go all the way to the wall. Kanaya grabs it on one hop, leans in to score. Here comes Encarnacion. Travis Snyder, a 2-run pinch hit double.
They saw the situation develop once Slowey came into the game, and if it got down to Rivera, they were going to pinch hit. So he is back there getting himself loose, and he doesn't waste any time, does Travis Snyder. First pitch, and he's got great numbers against Kevin Slowey in his career. Breaking ball down and in, and he rips it into the corner. Edwin Encarnacion is running really well this year. He scores all the way from first base easily. Look at him. Pick him up and put him down as Snyder doubles to right field, and here comes Edwin. Scores easily. Could have scored standing.
4 runs charged to Francisco Liriano.
That's a situation as a manager that you see that could happen. Once Slowey came into the game, I've got my secret weapon, Travis Snyder, with great numbers against him. If it gets down to him, have him ready. And he didn't waste any time.
That's the value of having a bench coach also that has been a former manager. Don Wakamatsu can remind John Farrell, hey, don't be afraid to think about this situation. Farrell, I'm sure, was aware of it, but they put their heads together and it turns into a pinch 2-run double. One thing we have seen early in this season, lots of communication in this Blue Jays dugout. Wakamatsu talking to J.P. Arencibia. Molina bounces it to Valencia at third. Across the diamond, he bounced it, and Mono is able to dig it out. A very tentative throw, but Travis Snyder builds upon the Blue Jays lead. A 2-run pinch double. Blue Jays and Kyle Drabek lead at 5-1. One lead, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and the Twins have yet to get a base hit.
They're trying to figure him out, Minnesota Twins. First time through, they were really swinging away and taking some bad swings. Seems like with Span starting off the 3rd inning, they're trying to be a little bit more patient, get that pitch count up, get a little bit more information against Kyle Drabek. Here is the pitching line for Francisco Liriano. His afternoon is finished. 4 1/3 as he pitches into the 5th inning. He'll be charged with 4 earned runs. The walks, 5 of them this afternoon for Liriano. Got stung a couple of times by home runs.
Blue Jays have hit 5 home runs against Liriano in his last 2 starts against them. Alexei Casilla, the number 9 hitter, will try to get things going for Minnesota here in the 6th. Good sinking fastball, evens the count at a ball and a strike. Travis Snyder, coming off the bench, delivers a 2-run double to right. Big bouncer to Adam Lind, who plays the high hop and tosses it to Drabek. 1 out. Lind's getting more comfortable with every play he gets at first. He can even smile now.
Do you charge or do you lay back? I think if you always charge, you're aggressive, then you can back off if you have to. It's the in-between hop and makes it look easy.
I spoke to him about his game last night, and he said, I was really nervous for the first 2 innings. And he had the first play of the game, a 4-3 ground out. And after that, we saw him take a big sigh and close his eyes and say, thank goodness that's over with. You've been there. You've been through that before. First game of the season, first ground ball.
Yeah, and on top of that, playing a new position for the first time, you feel like you're out in the ozone. You have no idea what's going on.
And there's the first hit of the ball game for the Minnesota Twins. A sharp single to left, and Snyder bobbles the ball, and Span will move into second. So that'll be a base hit, the first hit allowed by Kyle Drabek here in the 6th.
And the crowd gives him a hand. Span does this so well. An inside pitch with an inside-out swing to left field. Drabek threw a no-hitter last year while he was in Double-A when he was the Eastern League Pitcher of the Year. Snyder just loses the ball on the transfer. Keeps the double play. Does not keep the double play in order.
That no-hitter came on the 4th of July. Walked 2, struck out 3. A 9-inning no-hitter.
I'm glad they got a hit. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
If this game gets into the 7th, 8th, 9th inning, what do you do for a young guy in his first game? Do you sacrifice and let him try and do it, or do you say,
Yeah, I think with Bruce Walden as the pitching coach and John Farrell as the manager, both pitchers, I don't think they would have extended him. And you're right, it would have been a tough decision, but first game out of the chute, 23-year-old prize starting pitcher. Probably wouldn't want to risk it. His pitch count got up over 100.
Saw that happen in AAA. Oil Can Boyd's first AAA game. He had a no-hitter against us into the 8th inning.
Nishioka down the left field line, but that slice is foul.
The manager said, I might have lost this game, but I've saved a career for a young pitcher who pitched in the big leagues.
Yeah, I'm sure John Farrell would have had the same approach if he had to contemplate such a decision later in this ball game, but now it's academic. Drabek has done a pretty good job economizing on his pitches. There's 78 pitches here into the 6th. Just off the outside corner. Good balance in the pitch count and an exceptional inning in the 2nd. 3 up, 3 down on just 6 pitches. 5-3 call. Nishioka cut looking at an inside fastball. Strikeout number 6 for Drabek.
You know what? And I'm going to give that strikeout to Jose Molina, who had the guts to call this pitch. It looked like a pitch that backed up on Nishioka, and it surprised him. I don't know if it's a changeup or a two-seam fastball, but the reaction from Molina at the end of that said, that'll way to stay with me.
That would be Kyle with a K. Two outs. Bauer chases that cutter inside. Cut fastball at 91 miles an hour. It stays basically on a fastball plane, but just moves into the left-handed hitter.
And down and late. You start your swing, you read fastball, and all of a sudden it's gone underneath the bat.
Do you credit Mariano Rivera with the rampant spread of the cut fastball?
I can't think of anybody else who threw it that much.
Maybe Andy Pettit, left-handed.
Yeah. Yeah, as a starter. Pettit. Now everybody has it. They can make the ball go this way, away from left-handers. They can cut it in.
Certainly Roy Halladay's success with the cutter and the sinker. 2 fastballs that he just splits the plate with. This is a copycat industry for sure. 2 balls and a strike to Joe Mauer. Grounded sharply, but a big hop for the second baseman Aaron Hill. And Drabek gives up the first hit of the ball game to Denard Span, but he leaves him at second base. It's 5-1 Blue Jays. Listen to live radio broadcasts and receive batter-by-batter information for every game. At Bat 2011 allows you to customize the app to receive Blue Jays specific news and alerts. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Mike McCoy pops the button tapped into foul territory, and no one can make a play. McCoy making his first start in center field. Rajai Davis was in the original lineup. Davis came out, went through batting practice, tested his ankle, and he went and told the skipper he couldn't go. Davis injured his ankle in the first inning during a rundown after he was picked off at first base. Doesn't appear to be anything significant, but he was scratched to start this game.
He kept playing in last night's game. And then when it got out of hand, Mike McCoy came in and picked him up the last couple of innings. Then you sit on it for a night and you come back the next day. It could be very stiff, very sore.
McCoy gets a base hit right back over the mound into center field.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Are you ready for the next generation Civic?
This is a good situation for John Farrell. You got a base runner at first that can steal and a guy that can handle the bat at the plate. And a pitcher on the mound that throws a lot of strikes. A lot of options here. You can play hit and run, or you can steal it. Hot shot to the second baseman, Nishioka to Casilla. A quick 4-6-3 double play, and just like that, McCoy is erased.
Line drive, one hopper right at second base. It's an easy double play. The middle infield for the Minnesota Twins was supposed to be Nishioka at shortstop and Casilla at second base when spring training started. Ron Gardenhire, an ex-middle infielder himself, saw that setup and really likes Casilla at shortstop as opposed to second base to take advantage of that good arm.
A little bit stronger arm from Casilla than what they saw from Nishioka, at least in the spring. 2 outs now for Aaron Hill, who lines it into center field, and that get down for a base hit. Bernard Spain plays it on a big hop. Hill now 1 for 4 this afternoon.
His swing is so short and compact. There's not a lot of extra movement when he is at the plate. Watch how still his head is. No stride, head down, line drive, right center field. Textbook.
Oh, that's a great example of a hitter keeping his head still and staying on the baseball. Jose Bautista. Pair of walks this afternoon. He scored a run.
You'll see a lot of batters not have a big stride. What that does, it makes your head come forward. But for Aaron Hill, he just stays nice and compact. It stays right there, and the head goes right down.
Foul right off the mask of Joe Mauer. That'll get your attention. Mauer uses that more traditional wire catching mask compared to the hockey mask that Jose Molina uses.
What does that feel like when you get hit like that?
Here, let me show you.
I mean, it's got to feel like you just got punched in the face, doesn't it?
It does. It really gives you some bells and lights when you get hit in that mask. Bautista goes too far, according to Paul Schreiber down at first, and the inning comes to an end. Bautista didn't agree with it, but he's called out on strikes. We have played 6 here at Rogers Center. Blue Jays lead at 5. Sean Camp begins to loosen up. And there's the 4-pitch walk to start the second. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell for an update. Neil Walker off to a great start at a grand slam home run against Chicago at Wrigley Field in yesterday's game. Ron Walker, former Minnesota Twins second baseman, could swing the bat.
Yes, yes. So could Neil. We got to see him in spring training this year.
Lots of home runs hit yesterday. 25 homers were hit in the big leagues. Delman Young takes an outside pitch. A ball and a strike on the Twins left fielder. Now Jose Molina is going to ask for time and go out and see if he can't help out Kyle Drabek. Pitching into the 7th inning, his first start of the season. Molina had a pretty intense visit with Drabek in Bradenton against the Pirates. After a wild pitch, Drabek gave up a base hit, kind of stomped around the mound, showed his displeasure and was fighting himself a bit. Jose Molina went to the mound and said, listen, you're in control of the situation. Make some good pitches and let's get out of it. He's got Drabek right back on the right page. Cut on and missed. Evens the count at 2-2.
Molina was also talking yesterday before the game about how he wasn't going to baby Drabek. He was going to keep right after him. Listen to me. I'll help you through this.
Bounce that ball. Runs the count to 4. Well, in that meeting they had on the mound in Bradenton, Drabek was nodding his head, yeah, I know. And Jose Molina said, you want me to leave, don't you? Well, I'm not leaving till I'm done.
There you go.
3-2 to Delman Young. On the ground, Nix at third. Second base for 1. Back to first, double play. Jason Nix has had quite a day in his debut with the Blue Jays. He started at third base. He's hit a home run. He's played flawless defensively, and he starts a big double play there.
Helps out his starting pitcher. 3-2. He throws a breaking ball. He ranges to his left, picks it, and then sets himself. Good turn by Hill. But at the end of that play, Kyle Drabek gave the thumbs up to his catcher because that was a breaking ball 3-2 to a very dangerous hitter. And he turns to his catcher and says, that away.
Something that he might have thought of on his own. But Molina had the confidence that Drabek could deliver. Turning point in the ball game. Young reaches base. First and second, nobody out with Tomey at the plate. And then he comes right back and throws 2 strikes.
See, that's got to make you feel good. Watch Drabek. He'll say to his catcher, hey, we're on the same page. 3-2 breaking ball.
Just off the plate. A ball and 2 strikes to Jim Tomey. Tomey 0 for 2 was a strikeout victim in the 5th. Just missed. Sinking fastball down and away. Tomey stays alive. Drabek closing in on 100 pitches. This will probably do it for him if he can get out of this inning. Full count.
Stay within yourself here. Don't throw it through the batter. Make a pitch.
Got it. Went back door with it. Cutter and gets Jim Tomey for a second time. Kyle Drabek, 7 strong innings. He strikes out 7. He leads the Twins 5-1. 7 innings of one-hit ball. Gets congratulations from his manager. 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, 101 pitches, and he's in line for his first win of the season. His first major league win.
Wouldn't that be ironic, too? His father's first big league win was against the Minnesota Twins also. Back in 1986. Kyle Drabek showed me something there when he fell behind with a runner on base and got that ground ball double play. Very impressive. Jose Mijares will take over now for the Minnesota Twins. Mijares, the big left-hander out of the bullpen, throws very hard. 28 strikeouts and 9 walks last year with the Minnesota Twins. Picked up his only win against against Toronto right here.
26-year-old Mijares throws the first pitch strike to Adam Lynn. Lynn had a big at bat in the 5th inning and a base hit against Francisco Liriano to knock Liriano out of the ball game. And that eventually set the table for Travis Snyder's 2-run pinch hit double. Ricky Romero, Kyle Drabek, their first start under their belt. Jason Nix and Jose Molina hitting their first home runs of the season.
Good to see contributions from everybody up and down the lineup. Jason Nix gets his first start, homers. Mike McCoy, emergency start in center field. He's got a base hit, a couple of fly balls. Everybody on the roster contributing.
Strike 3 call. Then looks at an outside fastball from Mijares.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Are you ready for the next generation Civic?
Edwin Encarnacion and an infield single and an RBI his last time up. This time rips it right to the third baseman, Danny Valencia. Good cut by Encarnacion.
Waiting for that pitch from Mijares, and he rips it and just hooks it right into his glove. Nothing you can do about that. Squared it up.
Jason Nix has had quite a debut here with the Blue Jays. Walked in the 2nd, hit a 1-out solo home run in the 4th. He's also played well in the field. A year ago with the White Sox in 24 games, had a home run in 49 at-bats, and then with Cleveland after he was claimed by the Indians in June. Hit 13 home runs in just 78 games. And we witnessed that power here this afternoon. Hit a line shot into the seats in left.
Playing time, got a little bit more consistent playing time in the second half last year, especially after Johnny Peralta was traded over to Detroit. So he got some playing time with the Indians and opened up some eyes.
Fouls this over the Twins dugout.
That's how he jumps over the fastball. Every Blue Jay batter, when they get in that batter's box, they are ready for that first pitch. And he turned on it. Liriano tried to go away with that fastball, but left it over the middle of the plate.
As aggressive as they are as hitters, they worked Minnesota for 5 walks this afternoon. Down the left field line, Delman Young running out of room. and this ball is foul.
Didn't seem like he got it all when it left the bat. But it's one of those high fly balls that keeps going, and it just hooked foul. You can see on that replay.
Certainly had the distance, just hooked it about 3 feet foul. Interesting pickup. Add some depth to the bench.
Knows his role on this team. Keep having days like you're having today.
You have a bigger role.
You're going to find a bigger role.
It's amazing how managers are like that. You do good things, you find yourself in the lineup. Takes the walk. Second walk today for Jason Nix. 2-out walk. And then Travis Snyder to the plate for a second time. Snyder came on as a pinch hitter for Juan Rivera in the 5th and delivered a 2-run double to right.
But what I like about that at bat when Travis Snyder came up is he was ready. First pitch swinging, and he is rewarded with a 2-run double. Take that same approach against Mijares.
Broken back looper to the shortstop, Casilla. Snyder got jammed. Mijares gets out of the 7th. But the Blue Jays have put up a 5 spot against Minnesota. They lead by 4. Brand in Canada. Right-hander Sean Camp comes out of the bullpen to pitch the 8th inning in relief of Kyle Drabek, who's in line for his first major league win. Camp had a terrific season a year ago with the Blue Jays.
He certainly did. He led the team with 70 games pitched, 72 to third relief innings for Sean Camp last year. His earned run average at 2.99 was a career best. Great numbers all the way around. He'll get you with a fastball, a good changeup, and a good sweeping slider that he'll use against those right-handed batters.
Michael Kadire will face Camp to start the 8th. Seeking fastball is too low. Comes right back and throws a strike.
He is not afraid to throw strikes. He knows coming out of that bullpen, that's the #1 thing. Throw quality pitches, but make them strikes.
Change up. Kadire way out in front. I love the makeup of this bullpen to start the season. A lot of strike throwers, a lot of different looks. Weekly hit on the ground. Escobar's got plenty of time. Why?
You've got multiple inning guys like a Sean Camp who can go through the lineup. He can give you 3 innings if you need to, but it's his stuff. Sinker, slider. Then you've got the hard throwers at the back of that lineup also. A Roush, a Villanueva who can get left-handers out.
Jason Frazier worked an inning in the game last night. Gave up a single, then got a double play and retired Delman Young. And it certainly makes it easy if your starting pitcher goes 7. Danny Valencia 0 for 2. Jason Nix with a dive. Strong across the diamond in time. What a game for Jason Nix.
Doing it with the bat, and now he's doing it with the glove. He turned a nice double play last inning, started, and now he'll dive to his right and set himself. No panic. Catches the ball, gets his feet set underneath him. He knows when that ball gets down there quickly, he's got a little bit more time to make an accurate throw. What a game he's having.
What a way to make an impression your first game with a new team. Couple of walks, a home run, and flashing the leather at third. Jason Kubel, the pinch hitter, swings at the first pitch and grounds out to Adam Lind. A 1-2-3 inning for Sean Kemp. Now it's time for a Connected Update with Jamie and Greg, live from the brand new BlackBerry broadcast studio. Goodbye waiting. Another first only from Rogers.
Jason Nix has a couple of walks and a home run, but the leather is the big part of his game this afternoon. His play last inning, robbing for extra bases. 5 assists now this afternoon for Nix, and that's the best one of them all.
Well, he's had quite a debut here at Rogers Center. His first start in the Blue Jays uniform. All he's got to do now is sign some autographs and kiss the babies.
He's done it all.
Jose Molina's had a good day. He's homered, he's walked, and he's handled Kyle Drabek. Matt Tolbert comes on defensively, taking over at shortstop. Matt Capps comes out of the bullpen to make his 2011 debut.
Was an all-star last year for the Washington Nationals. Throws hard. Capps, he was the closer for the Nationals, and he got traded to the Minnesota Twins back in July, right at the trade deadline. One of the 4 to 5 there bullpen for the stretch drive. Capps saved 16 games for him last year.
He's got a great slider. Utilizes that very effectively. Well, he did a good job John Roush started out as the replacement for the injured Joe Nathan, and then after the trade, Matt Capps took over, and Roush slid to the setup spot. Molina's having a day with the bat. His second hit, a sharp single into center.
Been on base 3 times now this afternoon. Walks back in the 4th inning, and he gets it started here at the 8th with a solid single.
9 hits now for the Blue Jays. They had 13 runs on 12 hits in the season opener last night. Mike McCoy with one of those 9 hits. His first start of the season. Replacing Rajai Davis in center. Mike McCoy turns 30 today. Gets a start, his first start in center field on his birthday, and he got a base hit. So far contributing to a winning effort.
Let's add to it. Right there. Good start here in the 8th inning against an all-star closer in Matt Capps. Molina singles, and now Mike McCoy right behind him.
Blue Jays have gotten off to a fast start with the bats. They've outscored the Twins 18-4 so far in this series. And just like last year, they've hit 6 home runs in the first 2 games.
Yeah, home runs have been a big part of it, but it's been fun to watch them take off on the bases. Go first to third. A couple of triples. One by this man right here.
Down and away. Escobar 1 for 4. He moved into the leadoff spot in the lineup after Davis was scratched from the original lineup.
When spring training started, John Farrell was telling me that he was thinking about possibly having Escobar be the leadoff hitter against left-handed starters. He's got a great on-base percentage, and he hits left-handers very well. So no surprise when Rajai Davis couldn't make the call this afternoon that he just slid Escobar in there against Liriano.
A .364 career on-base percentage for the Blue Jays shortstop. And we have seen it. Didn't strike out much. Gets on base. He can run the bases well. Not a base-stealing threat, but certainly has the ability to go first to third.
And he can handle the bat. If a bunt is called for, either a sacrifice or a drag bunt, we've seen him do that. Moving runners along, and shoot the ball to right field if he has to.
Back up the middle. Molina coming around third. He'll be stopped there by Brian Butterfield. Escobar hit it right on the button. His second hit of the afternoon. Molina got the stop sign at third.
I think Bernard Span, the center fielder, was going to let him go ahead and score. He looked like he was coming up ready to throw to third base as Escobar pounds that ball back through the middle. Here comes Molina with a good secondary lead, but they decide to hold him up. Nobody out. You don't want to run into an out. with 2, 3, 4 coming up.
And the infield for the Twins has come in halfway. They trail by 4 in the 8th. Blue Jays with a chance to build upon their lead. We had mentioned they have outscored the Twins so far 18-4 in this series. Hill hasn't hit a grand slam. Blue Jays double-digit in hits now for a second consecutive day. Molina has 2, McCoy has 2, and Escobar has 2. Left field, but that's going to hang up for Delmon Young. Molina tagging at third, and the throw is cut off. Hill delivers the sacrifice fly. It's 6-1 Blue Jays.
He just missed by a whisker of picking up his first career grand slam. Matt Capps throws very hard, and it just got in a little bit on Hill. He just couldn't get the barrel through. Short, compact swing. He rides that fastball in, and it just got in on him. But enough to score the run. He's blowing on that one. He's trying to blow it out of the ballpark.
Second sacrifice fly for Hill. Jose Bautista hitless in 2 official trips. He's also walked twice. Bautista out in front of that Capps fastball. Blue Jays don't have an awful lot of experience against Matt Capps. This is their first at bat for Jose Bautista against the big right-hander.
Runs that fastball on the inner half. Jams Jose a little bit. Still got it up into the 5th deck. He hit a home run last year at Target Field. Remember that one?
Off Pat Neshek on a 3-1 pitch.
Up in the upper deck at Target Field.
Okay, and that Liriano's start on Thursday, the final Thursday of the season. The Blue Jays scored 13 runs. They hit 6 home runs in that game. Bautista got the green light on the 3-0 pitch and came out of his shoes. Neshek came right back, same pitch, 3-1,
and he didn't miss it. Wow.
Center field. Span's going to make the catch. McCoy tags in second. He's headed for third. 2 outs now. The left-hander Adam Lynn. Blue Jays have added a run here in the bottom of the 8th on 3 hits and a sacrifice fly. Adam Lynn homered against the right-hander Carl Pavano in last night's game. Pops this one up. Foul territory outside of third. Valencia right up against the wall makes the catch. So the Blue Jays add a run in the bottom of the 8th inning. They strand a pair. They have taken a 5-run lead as we head to the 9th. Bullpen Day presented by Rogers Sportsnet. April 3rd, the Blue Jays will take on the Minnesota Twins. 107 start, the finale of the three-game series. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Jose Bautista bobblehead. For tickets and more information, call 416-341-1234. Or you can log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations for tickets. Third Blue Jay pitcher of the afternoon will be Mark Zebczynski, making his third Major League relief appearance.
First appearance of the season. About 10 days to go in spring training. John Farrell and the staff talked about Zebczynski and how could he help this ball club. And they felt coming out of the bullpen, being an additional lefty in the pen, will help them. He has moved out there, and I think he really matches up well with that breaking ball that he has against lefties.
He made two relief appearances last July, one against the Red Sox and one against the Orioles. Other than that, he's been an exclusive starter. But we have seen him at times overmatch left-handed hitters.
Certainly. With the breaking ball that he has, they can just freeze him. Starts it at the belt buckle of those left-handed batters, and they give up on it. Last year, he got into 14 games, 12 starts, and finished up the season quite nicely.
Tapped on the ground right at home plate. Zebczynski has one of those breaking balls that's very difficult for left-handers to stay on. Big sweeper, goes down and away.
And he's not afraid to use it at any time of the count. You get hitters starting to look for that off-speed pitch, and you can slip that fastball by him. Good time for it right here.
Just missed, down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bernard Span leading off the ninth. How'd they lay off that pitch? Joe West down at third. Indicates no swing. Full count.
He's an underrated leadoff hitter. Waits very long so he can shoot balls to left field. Got an idea at the plate.
Zebczynski walks the leadoff batter here in the ninth. Adam Lind had a good day at first base. In the field, he did everything, scooping a couple of low throws out of the dirt.
And tonight, this afternoon, a little bit better on the flip over to first. He's looked very comfortable, and I think it's going to be a work in progress. And as the season goes along, he's going to get better and better and feel more comfortable over at first base. But that pick he had early in the game was sweet.
You can't recreate the speed of the game in spring training. Just not the same as it is during the regular season. Nishioka bounces it to second. Escobar steps on the bag and fires the first double play. So just like that, the Blue Jays erased the leadoff walk in the ninth.
They had a big double play back in the 7th inning, and now this is easy. His momentum is taking him to second base, and with that good arm, an easy play for Escobar.
Joe Mauer with 2 outs. Mauer has walked 0 for 2. Bouncing ball, Hill to his right, has to right himself, throws a strike to Lind, and this game is in the books. Jose Molina wants the ball. That's the first win for Kyle Drabek in his young major league career. Zebczynski does a good job closing out the ninth. The Blue Jays hitters continue to swing the bats. 6 runs on 11 hits, 2 more home runs, and the first home run of his Blue Jay career for Jason Nix.
Playing good defense also by Nix in the home run, but What a 1-2 punch here to open the season with Ricky Romero and now Kyle Drabek following him up with some good pitching.
The pitching holds the Twins to 1 run on 1 hit. Blue Jays go 2-0 on the young season. Now it's time for Connected Postgame Report with Jamie and Greg, live from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio at Rogers Center.